Welcome back to GEMNIC Science. In today's video, we're diving deep into the nervous control of the gastrointestinal tract, also known as the GIT nervous system. This control system is incredibly intricate, involving a network of sensory and motor components that work together in order to ensure smooth digestion, absorption, and elimination. To understand how this nervous system regulates this process, we need to explore several key components, which is the afferent and efferent impulses, chemo, osmo, and the mechanoreceptors. The last but not the least, also with the reflex pathway that influence the smooth muscles and the glandular responses. The first concept which we have on the list is the afferent and efferent impulses. When we say afferent impulses, it refers to the sensory signals which is sent from the GIT to the brain. This signal provides the brain with important information about the state of digestion. For instance, when the food enters the stomach, stretch receptors, also known as the mechanoreceptors, they send afferent impulses to the brain, signaling that the digestion is underway. On the other hand, we have the efferent impulses. The efferent impulses, they are motion signal which is sent from the brain down to the GIT. What it does, it simply instructs the muscles and the gland to take action. These impulses are critical for regulating things like the movement of food through the intestine or release of digestive enzymes. So this is where things get spicy. We now want to look at some receptors found in the GIT. We might mention that we have receptors which is the mechanoreceptors, osmoreceptors, and then the chemoreceptors. Notice that the chemoreceptors which are here, they are sensitive to chemical changes in the GIT, such as the presence of nutrients like glucose, amino acid, or fat. These receptors help to regulate the excretion of digestive enzymes and hormones. When food is broken down into its components, the chemoreceptors detect this and send signals to stimulate the release of digestive juice. Next on the list is the osmoreceptors. Osmolarity. The osmoreceptors has to do with the concentration of solid. So osmoreceptors detect changes in the osmolarity, which is the concentration of solid in the GIT content. For example, if the concentration of solid increases in the stomach or intestine, the osmoreceptors, what they do, they simply trigger responses to adjust fluid balance and absorption. Here we have the mechanoreceptors. Mechanoreceptors are activated by physical changes such as stretching the stomach and intestine. What they do, they simply send afferent signal, A with A. We have efferent and afferent. So the mechanoreceptor, they send afferent signal to the brain, indicating the mechanical state of the GIT. This is crucial for regulating muscle contraction that propel food forward through the digestive tract. So another important concept which we are going to be looking at now is the short reflex pathway and then the long reflex pathway. A quick review on the central nervous system. When we say central nervous system, is composed of the brain and the spinal cord. Or the nervous system itself is divided into two, which is the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. And we say the central nervous system, which is known as the CNS, is comprises of two things, which is the brain and then the spinal cord. So when we talk about the long reflex here, the long reflex pathway on the other hand, the long reflex pathway involves the central nervous system. Sensory information is sent from the GIT to the brain, which process information and send efferent signals to the GIT to regulate functions like motility, secretion, and blood flow. An example of long reflex is the brain response to sight or smell of food, which triggers salivation and gastric acid secretion. So what about the short reflex pathway? So when it comes to the short reflex, we are not longer talking about the long reflex. We are going to be looking at the short reflex, because the CNS is central nervous system, while the ENS is the enteric nervous system. So basically, the short reflex pathway involves the enteric nervous system and does not require input from the brain or the spinal cord. This local reflex occurs just simply within the gastrointestinal tract itself. For example, when food stretches the stomach, we have these stretch receptors, which are the mechanoreceptors. they trigger a short reflex that causes the stomach to contract and begin mixing food with the digestive juice. What about the effector responses of the smooth muscles gland? So let's start with the smooth muscles. So the smooth muscles of the GIT are responsible for mechanical aspect of digestion. These muscles contract in coordinated manner, propelling food along the digestive tract in a process called peristalsis. Efferent impulses from the central nervous system or the enteric nervous system control this muscle contraction. On the other hand, we have the gland. The gland in the GIT respond to the neural signal by releasing digestive enzymes, acid and hormones that facilitate digestion. For example, the pancreas releases enzymes in response to the efferent impulses, which is triggered by the chemoreceptors detecting the presence of food. So notice that both smooth and gland respond dynamically to the afferent impulse, adjusting their activity based on the contract or content of the GIT. So this is it for this problem. I hope you find it very, very helpful. Please, if you do, feel free to just hit on the notification button and don't forget to subscribe, like and also share. Thank you for watching and see you next time. In case you have a request on any type of video, maybe medical video particularly, feel free to just comment on the comment section below so that I will know. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Welcome back to